Is the screen visible to you?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
And the yes,
Right. So very good day to everybody present here, and a very happy fine morning to one and all present here. So this is advanced programming practice, and today's class will split our sessions into two. The first one will have email, send grid, custom emails, and then the second part of today's class will have newspaper app. We have the articles app, URLs, views, edit, delete, create page, and then we will conclude our topics. So this is especially for you, my dear students and young researchers, and you can reach me at dr.kristoanand@gmail.com. So before beginning the session, let us all close our eyes, thank our God for giving this golden opportunity. As for me, I thank God for giving this golden opportunity to deliver this useful session, to share my knowledge among my fellow national, international participants, students, and young researchers. Students, I request you please be a little more quiet. Right. So today's class will have an introduction about email, and then the send grid pricing, send grid new account, send grid welcome screen, and then we'll analyze the difference between the send grid web application program interface versus SMTP relay, the send grid integrate, send grid updated settings, the GitHub search, articles app, URLs and views, articles page, and then we'll discuss about the edit delete part, and then finally we wind up with updated articles page. I've already posted the independent work in the Google Classroom, so you would have gone through that, and please complete it on time. And then we'll have some short videos to explain the knowledge in our topics. So this is an introduction to email. With the case of Django's approach, it's incredibly easy to customize any piece of our website. But with the case of the downside of Django, it requires more out of the box code than some competing web frameworks. So when you become more and more attached, or maybe when you become more and more experienced in web development, the wisdom of Django's approach will definitely be true. We want to have our emails to be sent to users, but not just outputted to our command line console. So that is the reason we have to sign up for an account at the SendGrid and update our settings.py files. So in the SendGrid, Django doesn't care what service you are choosing through, but you can actually very easily use Mailgun or maybe any other service of your choice. On the SendGrid homepage, click on the large blue button. Okay, this is the large blue button for see plans and pricing. Okay, for exploring the features of SendGrid. On next page, you will have all the options: free, essentials, pro, and premium. Okay, so maybe on the left side for free, you select it and click on the try it for free blue button on the bottom. Okay, and actually on selecting this one, you go for try it for free. Okay, and then you will have a new account. You will have SendGrid. Let's get started. You have username, password, confirm password, email ID, and then you check it out whether you're not. You confirm that you are not a robot. Okay, and then you can create a new SendGrid account. So make sure that the email account you use for SendGrid is not the same email account you use for your super user account, because your super user account is different from the mail account that you use for SendGrid. Okay, so maybe if you are using the same account means there might be some error. Okay, finally you complete the tell us about yourself page. The only tricky part would be the company website section. You can use the URL of Heroku deployment, as this setting can later be changed. At the bottom of the page, click the Get Started button. So you have to make sure you fill in the Tell us about yourself section, and then you go with the Get Started button. So tell us about yourself: first name, last name, company name, phone number, company website you have. Okay. What is your role in there? Maybe a developer, CEO, or maybe any other position. How do you want to send an email? Maybe using an API or maybe using marketing campaigns. You can do that and go with Get Started. And then this is the SendGrid welcome screen. So SendGrid presents us with a welcome screen that provides three different ways to send our first email. Okay, so you'll have the option send your first email. Select the option integrate using our web API or SMTP relay. Okay, and then you click on the start button. Okay, so when you go with the selecting this one and go with this start, you will have one more choice to make, whether you can make a web API or maybe SMTP relay. Normally we'll use SMTP because it is the simplest and it works according to our basic requirements. In a large scale website, you likely want to use web API instead. So it all depends on the area of use. Okay. So only thing you can use either web API or maybe SMTP. Okay. And also you also note the verify my account banner on the top of the page. Maybe you can go that, log into your email account and then confirm your account. And then you click on the choose button under the SMTP relay to proceed with SMTP relay. Okay, so web API, you are going to click on this choose button in order to go with web API or maybe SMTP relay. Normally we will go with the SMTP relay. So there's also one more screen under step 1, create a API key. So enter in a name for your first API key. Maybe you can choose API key maybe as newspaper. Okay, newspaper, and then you click on this blue button, right? Create key. Okay, so after entering this newspaper, you can go with clicking on to the create key. Okay, so maybe I have given a name like newspaper. You can choose any other name. Okay. And then the SendGrid username and password. The page will update and generate a custom API key in part 1. SendGrid is really publishing us to use the API keys. Okay, right? So under part 2, you create a username as well as a password. Okay, and then you have to going to repeat the password so that we can use it for the SMTP relay. So the username here is API key. It is the same for everyone, but the password will be different. Okay, it will be different for each of the account. You can set your own secure password. Now the time to add the new username and the password in a Django project, and for this one, in the newspaper project /settings.py file, update the email backend to use the SMTP. We have already configured this one, so the line should be at the bottom of the file. Okay, so instead of outputting emails to the console, we want to use them using SMTP. Okay, so what you do, you go with the code for the email, like newspaper projects /settings.py. Email host is equal to smtp.sendgrid.net. Email host user equal to API key, and email host password, you're going to go with sendgrid underscore password. The email port you're setting at 587, and email use TLS is equal to 2. Make sure to enter your screen SendGrid email host password here. Here the SendGrid password is just a placeholder. You should understand that the local server should already be running at this point, but maybe if it is not running, means you type Python manage.py run server. Okay, so what you can do, you can go back to the SendGrid and integrate using web API or maybe SMTP relay, and then you click on the checkbox, I have updated my settings. Okay, then you go with the next one, which is verify integration. So afterwards you integrate whether maybe using Web API or maybe SMTP. So this is the SendGrid updated settings. So here we have, first of all, we have seen an overview. Then we have gone with the integration part. So after verifying all the details, you can go with next verify integration. So navigate to the password reset form in your web browser at 127.0.0.1:8000 slash users slash password reset. And then in the email address of your super user account, you type the email address. Do not use the email via SendGrid account, which should be different. Okay, so every time you have like different email IDs, fill in the form. Upon submission, you will have the page like user slash password reset slash done. So if you go to the inbox, you should be able to see a new email from webmaster at localhost. So the text would be exactly as the same what you have outputted to your command line console. So whatever you have entered, that will be displayed. Okay. So maybe click on this link to reset your password, something like that. So the final step is go back to the SendGrid page. We have just successfully tested the application. So click on the blue button to verify the integration. Okay, and go with verify integration. Okay, so this is SendGrid verify integration. Click on this verify integration in the middle of the page. The button will turn gray and display checking for a moment. Okay. So SendGrid, it works. So integrating using Web API or SMTP relay, we have it worked, and then you have view email activity, or maybe you can view the documentation. So you can see like okay, more steps are there, but a real world email integration is now working. So in order to make it more personal, what we are going to do is we will have some more steps to customize all parts of the Django as and when needed. So Django was actually using a default feature, a default source code that is being written. So we'll go with the GitHub Django. We'll use the GitHub search bar, and you enter a few words like if you type in who are receiving this email because, and you will end up with GitHub search page. Okay, so this normally the words you see in a GitHub page. Okay, so you are receiving this email because, so if you go with this searching part, you will end up with the GitHub search page. Okay, so the first result is the one we want, and it shows the code. It's located under Django /contrib /admin /templates registration password reset email.html, which is the default text. Like we have the block trans, and then you are receiving this email because you are requested a password reset for your user account. At you'll have the please go to the following page and choose a new password. And then we'll have the block reset link, and then we'll go with the in-block reset link, and then the trans statement, your username in case you've forgotten, maybe trans statement, thanks for your site, block trans, and then in auto escape. So what we do, you try to change it, you try to create a password reset email.html in a registration folder, and stop this current server with pressing Ctrl+C, and you access with a new file. Like within the news app, you go with $h templates /registration /password reset mail.html. So there you will have once again with the case of registration /password reset mail.html, you go with load I18n auto escape of trans I user.get username. Trans, we have the statement, we have received a request to reset your password. If you didn't make this request, you can safely ignore this email. Otherwise, you click the button below to reset your password. You have like a CSRF token and like n-block reset link and in auto escape. Normally, if this code might look a little more scary or maybe complicated, but what we do, we try to break it line by line. So up the top, we load the template tag I18n, okay, which means that this text is eligible to be translated into multiple languages. And we have created the user by naming the thanks to uh, by the name thanks to user.get.username. Here we have like a user.get.username. Then we use a built-in preset link. Okay, we have a built-in preset link now to include the custom URL. Okay, so you can read more about the Django's password management approach. Okay, you can go through this official document and go through that. And you can also update the email subject title email. For this one, we'll create another new file called password reset subject. In the command line, you go with news app, we go with dollar touch templates slash registration slash password reset subject.txt, and then you add the following line to the code password reset underscore subject.txt file. What you do, you reset your password, and we are all set. So what you are going to do, you enter a new password at password reset URL, and then check your email. Okay, so it will have a new content and a new subject. So whenever your password is being reset, automatically you will get a mail. And in the articles app, we go with the article search models.py. From Django.conf import settings, from Django.contrib authentication, import get user model, from Django.db import models, and then from Django.urls import numbers. And then in the class article with models.model, you go with title, models.character field, the maximum length being 255. And then body, we have models.text field, date equal to models.datetime field, auto now add equal to true. And then author, models.foreign key, get user model, on delete is equal to models.cascade. And then you are going to go with the define string function, return self.title, define get absolute URL, and then you go with the return reverse article detail. So now you will have like 3 articles that are being added, like local news, world news today, hello world. You have like 3 articles. If you click on these individual articles, you will see that the title, body, and author are being displayed, but the date is not being displayed. That's because the date was automatically added by the Django for us, and therefore it cannot be changed in the admin. Okay. So you can still make the date editable in more complex apps. It's common to have both the created at as well as updated at field, but to keep things more simple, we have the date to be set upon creation by Django. So we leave everything for the Django to do this for the date. So even though date is not displayed here, we are still being able to access it in a templates so that it can be displayed onto the web pages. And then we have the URLs and views. So what you do, you configure URLs and views. So what we do in articles, you add a URL pattern for articles in a project level URLs.py file. So newspaper underscore project slash URLs.py. So from Django.contrib import admin. From Django.urls import path and then include. We have the URL patterns. The path admin, admin.site.urls. Path users include users.urls. Path users include Django.contrib authentication.urls. Path articles include articles.urls. And then path the new path, they include page.urls. So after doing all this one with the newspaper underscore project slash URLs.py, you create an article slash URLs.py file. So the news app, we go with dollar touch articles slash URLs.py. So there you can go with this articles underscore list.html. You extend the base.html. Of course, you have blog title and then end blog title with articles and blog content. We have div class equal to card, div class equal to card header, span class equal to font weight bold. This is the settings you are going to set. Span class is equal to text muted, and then slash div, and then again div class equal to card body, and then we have the article body. We close the div, and then div class is equal to card footer. This is for the footer, header, body, and then footer. Card footer, text center, text muted. Okay, and then AHF you are going to point to the edit section, and then AHF you are going to delete. Okay, close the div once again for the remaining parts, and then the break. You go with the info and then in-block. So this is how you are going to go with the updating the URLs and views, and you have the articles page. This is my first part article. Okay, I like Hello World. Within the Hello World news app, we have the article. This is my first article. And then World News Today, you have some article. Some things happen around the world. And then local news, very new things have happened in a small town life. Okay. So for every section, you have a edit delete section. You can edit it accordingly, or you can delete the post. So we have the edit as well as the delete options. So we need new URLs, views as well as templates for this one. So what you're going to do, you're going to start with the URLs. You can take the advantage of the fact that Django automatically adds a primary key to each database. So first article, the primary key of one will be at articles 1/edit, and delete root will be articles slash one dot delete. Okay, so articles slash one dot edit, articles slash one slash delete. So with the articles slash urls.py file, we have from Django.urls import path. From views import, we have the article list view, update view, detail view, and then delete view. So URL patterns, you will have the path, uh, you have this, the edit section, article update view, dot as underscore view, the name equal to article edit, and path with the case of article detail view, dot as underscore view, it is name equal to article detail, and with the case of path of article delete view, dot as underscore view, the name equal to article delete, and path of article list view, dot as underscore view, name equal to article list. So this is the article page with two entries. We have to delete. Are you sure you want to confirm this hello world edited? So you have a post one. This is my first article. Are you sure you want to delete it? So you add like edit and delete section to it. This is all about the delete page. So press the scary red button. Click on this confirm, and you'll be able to redirect to the article page, which now only has two entries, like world news today and then local news. This hello world is actually deleted because you clicked on confirm. And then you have the create page. So the final step is to create the page for the new articles, which we can view using this Django's create view. So three steps for create pages: to create a view, create a URL, and then template. So in our views file, add create view to the imports at the top and make a new class at the bottom of the file, article create view. This is going to specify the model, template, and the fields available. So in the template slash base.html, you go with the navigation class equal to navbar expand, md navbar dark, then bg dark. So you are going to set the background, the content also. In a class is equal to navbar brand, the href is equal to URL code, the newspaper app, and then unordered list class, we have the label bar, name Yamar auto, and then list of class name item, href is equal to URL article name. You close with the unordered list, and then you have the index token. Button class is equal to neighbor toggler, name equal to button, and then you will have this one, the detailed page, the fourth article. This was already, this is actually added. Okay. So here the primary key is 4. That's the reason you have the fourth article. So even though we are only displaying 3 articles right now, Django doesn't reorder the primary keys just because we deleted already one. So in practice, most real world sites don't actually delete anything. Instead, they hide the deleted fields so that they will show you only the the files or maybe the contents which are not deleted. So it's actually very easy to maintain the integrity of the database, and it gives the option to undelete later if needed. So maybe click on the link for all articles to see our new articles page. So this is the updated articles page. So we already deleted Hello World page. So only World News Today and local news are there, and now we have added new one, which is fourth article. We have a post. This really works. Then for this also you have the edit as well as the delete section. So this is the independent work. I I need not have to copy this one again because I've already posted this one in the Google Classroom.